Under a heavy sky, grass bending low as if it already senses what is coming. In the distance, a dark silhouette begins to move, slow at first, almost cautious, then steady and deliberate. This is the Panzer IV, one of the most recognizable armored vehicles of the Second World War, advancing across the battlefield with a presence that feels both mechanical and alive. Its tracks bite into the earth, crushing grass, soil, and stone beneath several tons of steel, leaving behind deep scars that mark its passage. As the Panzer IV rolls forward, the sound defines the moment. The rhythmic clatter of tracks, the low growl of the engine, and the metallic creaks of armor plates working under strain fill the air. This is not just movement, it is momentum. Designed in the 1930s and refined through years of brutal combat, the Panzer IV became the backbone of German armored forces. Unlike some tanks built for a single role, this machine was adaptable, evolving from an infantry support tank into a capable main battle tank as the war progressed. The camera moves closer, revealing details etched into steel. The turret rotates slowly, scanning the horizon, while the long barrel of the main gun points forward like an unwavering finger. Early versions of the Panzer IV carried short-barreled guns meant to fire high-explosive shells, devastating enemy infantry and fortified positions. Later variants, shaped by hard lessons learned on the Eastern Front and in North Africa, mounted longer, more powerful cannons capable of engaging enemy armor at greater distances. Each modification tells a story of necessity, survival, and relentless adaptation. Inside the tank, though unseen, a crew of 5 works in tight coordination. The commander stands alert, peering through vision blocks, constantly interpreting the battlefield. The gunner waits for orders, hands steady, eyes focused. The loader prepares the next round, muscles tense, knowing that seconds can decide life or death. The driver keeps the machine moving, steering through uneven ground while avoiding obstacles and shell craters. The radio operator maintains contact, carrying voices through static and chaos. Together, they form a single fighting unit enclosed within steel walls only centimeters thick. As the Panzer IV advances across the field, dust rises behind it, hanging in the air like a fading echo. Sunlight glints off worn armor plates, revealing scratches, dents, and marks left by shrapnel or small arms fire. These scars are silent witnesses to past engagements, reminders that this machine has survived where others did not. In the early years of the war, the Panzer IV faced opponents that struggled to match its firepower. But as the conflict intensified, new enemy tanks emerged, forcing German engineers to reinforce armor, improve guns, and refine tactics. The field ahead is open, offering little cover. This is where armored warfare becomes a test of nerve and precision. The Panzer IV does not rush, it advances with calculated confidence. Tanks like this were rarely meant to fight alone. They operated alongside infantry, artillery, and support vehicles, forming combined arms formations designed to overwhelm the enemy through speed and coordination. The image of a single tank crossing a field is powerful, but behind it lies an entire system of warfare. The camera shifts to a side view, emphasizing the suspension as it absorbs bumps and dips in the terrain. The Panzer IV's design prioritized reliability, and this quality allowed it to remain in service throughout the entire war. While heavier tanks captured headlines, it was the Panzer IV that filled the ranks, produced in large numbers and sent to nearly every front. From the deserts of North Africa to the frozen plains of the Eastern Front and the hedgerows of Western Europe, this tank became a familiar, feared sight. As the tank moves forward, the mood grows heavier. One can imagine distant artillery fire, the whistle of shells, and the sudden chaos that could erupt at any moment. A battlefield is never truly silent, even when no shots are fired. The tension lies in anticipation. Every rise in the ground could conceal an anti-tank gun. Every line of trees might hide enemy armor waiting to strike. The Panzer IV advances anyway, fulfilling its role without hesitation. The camera angle rises slightly, offering a broader view of the field. The tank appears smaller now, yet no less imposing. This contrast highlights one of the defining truths of armored warfare: even the most powerful machines are vulnerable in vast, open landscapes. Armor thickness, gun caliber, and speed all matter, but so does positioning, communication, and timing. The Panzer IV's success was never just about steel and firepower, it was about how it was used. As it continues its advance, the tank's turret pauses, then makes a slight adjustment, as if responding to a commander spotting something in the distance. The main gun steadies. In real combat, this moment could lead to thunderous recoil, smoke, and the violent release of energy. Here, the silence allows the viewer to focus on the machine itself, on the tension contained within its motion. The Panzer IV represents more than a single vehicle. It embodies an era when industrial capacity, engineering skill, and military doctrine collided on an unprecedented scale. Thousands of factories, workers, and designers contributed to its existence. Every bolt and plate reflects a decision shaped by urgency and pressure. As the war dragged on, resources became scarce, and production shortcuts appeared, yet the Panzer IV remained effective, a testament to its fundamental design. The camera draws closer again, focusing on the tracks as they churn through soil. Mud clings to the metal, building up and then falling away with each rotation. This relentless movement mirrors the broader conflict in which the Panzer IV played its part, a war that ground forward with immense human and material cost. Tanks like this were tools of strategy, but they were also instruments of destruction, changing landscapes and lives wherever they went. As the Panzer IV reaches the far side of the field, the horizon begins to open up. The light shifts, and the scene feels momentarily calm, almost reflective. One can imagine the crew inside taking brief stock, checking instruments, listening for new orders. In reality, such moments were rare and fragile, easily shattered by the next engagement. The tank does not stop. It continues onward, disappearing gradually from the frame, leaving behind only tracks in the grass and a lingering sense of weight and purpose. The field, once untouched, now bears the marks of armored passage, a quiet reminder of how war reshapes even the most ordinary landscapes. The final image lingers on those tracks, stretching across the field toward the horizon. They symbolize the path of the Panzer IV through history, a machine that advanced through changing tactics, evolving technology, and countless battles. Though the war ended decades ago, the image of this tank advancing across a field remains powerful, a moving piece of history captured in motion, reminding us of an age when steel beasts rolled across the world and altered it forever.